Welcome to Workforce Workshop, the podcast where we break down today's most pressing workforce issues and explore real-world solutions to help you navigate the job market and workplace challenges. I'm your host, Shiraz Kelly, and today we're diving into a topic that's affecting nearly every household and business right now: the effects of inflation on wage stagnation and the rising cost of living. Whether you're a job seeker, a manager, or simply someone trying to make ends meet, the economic pressures we're facing today can feel overwhelming. Rising grocery prices, gas prices, healthcare costs, all while wages aren't keeping up, is putting stress on the everyday worker. Today we're going to unpack what's happening with inflation, why wages seem stuck, and what that means for our day-to-day lives. Most importantly, we'll look at what businesses and workers alike can do to manage these challenges. What is inflation and why does it matter? Let's start by laying some groundwork. Inflation is essentially the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, how purchasing power is falling. We all see it when it costs more to fill up your gas tank, or when a trip to the grocery store for just a few items suddenly feels like it drains your wallet. But why does inflation matter so much? It's because the dollar in your pocket buys less and less. That's why even if you're earning the same amount, it feels like you're working harder for less. And this is where we hit the issue of wage stagnation. Wage stagnation occurs when wages don't increase at the same pace as inflation. And in recent years, this problem has become more pronounced, especially during the pandemic, when businesses struggled and workers were hit by layoffs, reduced hours, or jobs that just didn't pay more, even as costs rose. We'll talk more about that in a second, but first, let's look at the bigger picture. The perfect storm: why wages aren't keeping up. So why aren't wages keeping up with inflation? Shouldn't they rise together like two sides of the same coin? Well, not quite. First, inflation can be driven by a variety of factors, including rising demand for goods, supply chain disruptions, or increased costs for businesses themselves like raw materials or transportation. In many cases, companies pass these rising costs onto consumers in the form of higher prices, but they don't always raise wages to match. A big part of the problem is that many employers are still recovering from the economic fallout of the pandemic. Businesses are cautious, and even though we see a lot of help wanted signs, wage growth has been slow, especially for lower and middle income jobs. High inflation, combined with stagnant wages, leaves workers with less money to spend. Another factor is the global economy. The US labor market is increasingly affected by global competition, automation, and outsourcing, which can put downward pressure on wages. Companies may feel they can't increase wages without losing their competitive edge, especially in industries where workers can be replaced or where companies can offshore their operations. What's the result? The people hit the hardest are typically those in service jobs, manufacturing, retail jobs, where wages have traditionally been lower. At the same time, high-skilled sectors like tech have seen significant wage growth. This disparity is a major driver behind the growing wealth gap, the impact on everyday workers. Now, let's talk about what this means for the average person. Inflation is personal. It hits hardest when you're trying to stretch your paycheck to cover rent, utilities, groceries, healthcare, and everything else. For many Americans, we're talking about essentials. It's not like you're cutting back on luxury items, you're cutting back on food, medicine, or gas for your car. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the cost of food has risen by more than 10% in the last year, while housing costs have increased by over 5%. Meanwhile, wage growth has been closer to 3 to 4%. The math doesn't add up, and that leaves a lot of workers struggling. One of the clearest signs of this is the rise in side hustles or gig work. More and more people are taking on second jobs or freelance work to make ends meet. But is that sustainable in the long run? Is it fair to expect workers to burn the candle at both ends just to stay afloat? Many experts point to the need for systemic change. Whether that's increasing the federal minimum wage, offering better benefits, or changing how companies view wage growth, it's clear that something's got to give. What can employers do? Let's pivot now to businesses and employers. If you're a business owner or a manager, you might be asking, what can I do to support my employees while staying profitable in this tough economy? It's a balancing act, no doubt. Many businesses are feeling the pinch just like their employees. But the truth is that happy, financially stable workers are more productive, loyal, and engaged. So, investing in your workforce is a smart long-term strategy, even if it feels like a stretch right now. One approach businesses are taking is offering non-monetary benefits. This can include flexible work schedules, more vacation time, wellness programs, or opportunities for professional development. While these benefits don't increase the number on an employee's paycheck, they do provide value and improve work-life balance. Another option is to reconsider how raises are structured. Instead of small, across-the-board increases, employers can focus on merit-based raises or bonuses for top performers. This helps businesses allocate their resources more efficiently while still rewarding hard work. And let's not forget the importance of open communication. Employees want to feel heard, especially in tough times. By maintaining transparency about the company's financials and challenges, employers can build trust with their workers. What can workers do? On the flip side, if you're a worker feeling the strain of wage stagnation and inflation, there are steps you can take too. First, this is a great time to focus on upskilling. The job market may be tough, but employers are still looking for candidates with the right skills, especially in industries like tech, healthcare, and finance. Investing in your education or gaining certifications can put you in a stronger position to negotiate a higher salary. Second, don't be afraid to negotiate. Many workers are hesitant to ask for raises, but in an inflationary environment, it's important to advocate for yourself. Do your research, know what others in your field are earning, and make a case for why you deserve more. Finally, consider diversifying your income streams. Whether it's starting a side business, freelancing, or investing, having multiple sources of income can help you stay ahead of inflation. Inflation and wage stagnation are complicated problems with no easy answers, but they're challenges we all need to face head-on. Whether you're a business leader or an employee, the key is to stay proactive, stay informed, and keep advocating for solutions that benefit both sides of the workforce. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Workforce Workshop. I hope today's discussion has given you some insights into what's going on and what you can do to navigate these uncertain times. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes where we break down the latest workforce trends and challenges. Until next time, I'm Chiraz Kelly. Stay strong, stay smart, and stay ahead of the curve.